She was over at a friend's house swimming, and I got a call from the friend's mom, and she was like, hey, we were all in the pool. Leah got out, grabbed a towel, wiped her face, and just started screaming. She's like, we're not sure what's going on. She keeps saying she's got burning and stinging in her nose. Initially, we thought maybe a bee flew up it because we couldn't see anything. Immediately took her to Children's. They couldn't figure out what was in her nose. Nobody could see anything. Once they started looking and everything, they realized that there was something shiny. In the meantime, I'm texting back and forth with the friend's mom. The only thing she could figure was there was some loose magnets that she had found in the deck box where the cows were. So I'm relaying this information to the doctors. They did end up having to sedate her. They did have to use surgical tools to get them out. However, they had to get them out one by one because the force was so strong. And there ended up being 4 on one side and 2 on the other. They had bonded in each side of her nose. And because of how strong they were, and then pushing on the cartilage and the tissue of the septum for that long, it thinned it out, basically, and caused the hole. Nobody ever wants to see their children hurt or in pain. And then the fact that I had to kind of sit back in the corner of the room and watch these doctors and nurses lay on top of her and try to remove these and kind of had to comfort her from a distance, that was really hard. Physically, she's good. Her spirits are good, but there's still that fear, that mental, trauma.
These magnets are generally like maybe 2 or 3 millimeters, and they're usually like either a circle or a square. But they're very easy for a small child to ingest or to put in their nose or their ears or something like that where they could be a problem. If it's the piece of tissue in the nose or piece of tissue in the intestines that is in between the magnets, they will come together and those forces can damage the tissue underneath. One magnet generally is not as much of a problem as if you have more than one. If you have one on one side of an intestine and one on the other side, they want to pull together. And if that intestinal tissue is in between, it can actually perforate or create a hole in the intestine. And that lets intestinal contents out into the abdomen, which is very dangerous. And so the big issue with these magnets is just them wanting to be close together and causing damage to that tissue in between. Magnets, if we know that they've been ingested, we can actually go and get them and prevent these more severe injuries from happening. And it's very easy to see a magnet on an x-ray. So we're able to bring kids back, get that x-ray, and then if they need to go and have a camera put down and take them out, we can do that pretty easily. The refillable water balloons that have magnets in them should not be around small children if possible. There are several very safe alternatives. There are products on the market that don't even have the magnets in them. They're just the piece of silicone without it. So that's another great alternative to the products that have magnets in them. I think the bottom line is that if you do have small magnets around kids, they need to be supervised the entire time that they're playing with those products. And if you do have these that have more secured magnets, kids do need to be supervised.
This is a traumatic experience, and we're going to make sure that it can save anybody from going through it, whether it be a parent or a child.